am so delighted to be with you here today as we're getting closer and closer to Day of Giving, March 23rd, the day of our founding. As you know, the theme of this year's Day of Giving is Grace in Abundance. Together, we're giving thanks for the grace God has shown United Women in Faith and the celebration of the Legacy Endowment Fund. So, Sally, what does grace in abundance mean to you?
Thank you, Christy. For me, grace in abundance means that God's grace is always at work in our lives, as God was in the lives of every generation before us of United Women in Faith and our predecessors, even in ways that we will never know. As I think about the countless people, particularly women and children, who have been nurtured, protected, encouraged, and served here in the U.S. and around the world, it is because of God's grace abundant in our lives. 2 Corinthians 9:8 says, God is able to bless us abundantly with all we need to abound in every good work. Our good work is grounded in God and lived out in faith, our hope, and our love in action. I wear these various pins, hopefully you can see them, representing the past, the present, and future of grace in abundance. We are celebrating our 157th birthday, our anniversary, and that represents grace in abundance. And I am grateful to share my blessings of abundance together with yours and all the members of United Women in Faith and friends of ours, that others feel and experience God's grace and mercy in their lives.
Sally, that was beautifully said. Thank you so much. You know, we've reached our total of $53.8 million in the Legacy Endowment Fund, and the gifts invested continue to multiply. Isn't that exciting?
It is.
When you started as General Secretary and CEO, we were at $36 million. And so the incredible progress that we've made shows the commitment of our members, but it also shows your commitment, Sally. You have continually inspired us so that we will not only meet our goal of 60 million, but will exceed it and continue to raise funds for our future. So what would you like our members to know about the vital importance of the Legacy Endowment Fund?
The Legacy Endowment Fund was a dream, first and foremost, of some courageous women, Barbara Campbell and Betty Letzick, knowing God's grace and sensing God's call to support the creation of a fund that would ensure the work of United Women in Faith would continue for generations to come. Their dreams was years before we actually launched the campaign for the Legacy Endowment Fund in 2014. And that goal was to raise $60 million. They and many members since are committed to make this dream come true. While I celebrate the progress we've made in the last several years, it is not about me, rather God's grace in abundance working through all who have supported and worked hard for the Legacy Endowment Fund since its inception, from then to now, and brought us closer to exceeding that goal, as you mentioned. My dream has been to help us achieve and exceed the goal this quadrennium, because I believe it is possible and that we can do it if we continue to do it together. That's grace in abundance, amazing grace in fact. And I will be a cheerleader every day of my life. And I'm so grateful to see us getting closer and closer. And I know we're going to achieve it by the end of this quadrennium. Not only achieve it, but also exceed it.
Perfect example of your encouragement, Sally. Thank you.
Yes.
You mentioned Betty and Barbara. You know, with their birthdays this year, they represent 2 centuries worth of service. And that reminds me of our many members who have made deeply personal contributions, bequests from their estate plans or wills, allocations from their life insurance policy, stock holdings, major gift pledges, and even monthly gifts as legacy builders. There are so many ways to give. For those who still haven't joined us, What can we say to them about becoming part of United Women in Faith's legacy?
Well, there's so much on my heart that I want to say, but I'll begin first with saying thank you to Barbara and Betty for casting the dream for this fund into existence. I want to say thank you to each member for sharing your abundance for the good work of United Women in Faith to ensure that we have a bright future and continue to improve the lives of women, children, and youth. And thank you to those that have supported and served and rolled up their sleeves to do the hard work as legacy liaisons, as conference presidents, as our staff development team, past and present, who have made an impact in moving us closer to our goal. And then to the legacy builders, the major gift donors, and the 1869 Society members, as well as trifecta donors, who have committed, as you mentioned, so much in so many different ways to ensure that we move that needle closer to the goal, because they and all of us have made a difference for generations to come through the Legacy Endowment Fund.
Well, Sally, it is exciting to think that we have less than $7 million to go. And so now to my final question about Assembly and the Legacy Banquet, which we're all very excited about. You know that over 2,500 women will be in Indiana for Assembly, and it will be a powerful 3 days of women leaders of all backgrounds, that they come together and lift the vital importance of women's spiritual formation, mission, and leadership. So, for the women out there who have never thought of themselves as leaders, what can we say to them about their God given ability to inspire, influence, and impact the world that they live in?
Yes, it's leadership is something that I think is within all of us. You know, we hear the phrase, they're born leader. Well, I think we're all born with some leadership skills. It may look differently in how we show up as leaders, but it's so important to own it, to claim it, and to trust God to be the guide of where and how you share your gifts, because we all have gifts to share. And it's through those sharing of the different gifts that the abundance becomes even greater. And so lead in your own context, whether it's in your family, we're all leaders there, whether it's in your local church or your local unit, we can be leaders there, whether it's in your district, whether it's in your conference, whether it's in your our annual conference. We are leaders, and that's shown up over and over again. We are strong in as an organization in leadership development. So there are many ways for you to connect and share your gifts that together we become stronger. As I mentioned earlier, we're change makers, and we each have our role and responsibility to share in bringing the change that we want to see. So put on your leadership hat, carry it not only on your head, but in your mind, your heart, and go out and serve and be God's hands and branches in the world, blessing others.
Sally, thank you so much for your leadership as well. Is there anything else that you'd like to share with our members today as we all celebrate this special day?
So those of you that are still maybe trying to decide where you fit in, we have a place for you. Come on and join us, and let's do this together, and let's exceed the Legacy Endowment Fund goal of $60 million before the end of this quadrennium. I know some of those that work closely with it, our legacy steering committee, they had vision or hopes of achieving it by assembly. Well, it's not too late if those of you that haven't committed are willing to do so. And I know that our development staff and your conference liaisons will guide you and help lead you to making that decision of where you will put your grace and abundance. So thank you, thank you, thank you to all. And I look forward to seeing you on March 23rd and to the Legacy Endowment celebrations. We are going to have a great time, and I encourage you, let's make it better and achieve a greater dollar amount than we did last year. I put that challenge out every year, and every year we rise to the occasion. So that's what grace and abundance also means, to raise the bar. So let's do it together, because why? We are United Women in Faith, and we believe love and action can change the world. You and I and all of us together are change makers, past, present, and future. Thank you, and know that I love you.